There are homes where every conversation turns into an argument, where gossip spreads like wildfire, and where the past is brought up, not for understanding, but to wound you. These are places filled with tension, conflict, and sharp words, leaving you walking away with a heavy heart. Worse still, sometimes these homes belong to your own family members, the very people who should offer warmth and love, yet instead make you feel used, disrespected, or completely drained. As you grow older, you no longer have the energy to endure visits that bring you stress and emotional exhaustion. Peace is not a luxury. It is a right you deserve. Let's explore 7 types of homes you should never step into in your later years, so you can protect your dignity, mental well-being, and happiness. Number 1. The home where you never feel truly welcome. There is nothing more heartbreaking than walking into a place where you are not genuinely wanted. It could be a cold stare, a half-hearted greeting, or even an awkward, distant atmosphere. You realize that they invited you out of obligation, not because they truly wanted to see you. At this stage in life, you deserve to be surrounded by people who appreciate and cherish you, not sitting in a room where your presence is merely tolerated. If every visit leaves you feeling ignored, unimportant, or like a burden, it's time to stop going. Your time is precious. Spend it with those who are truly happy to have you around, rather than those who simply endure your presence. Number 2. The home filled with gossip, conflict, and arguments. There are homes where the moment you step inside, the air feels heavy. Arguments echo from the living room. Complaints never seem to end. In these places, people don't listen to each other. They just wait for their turn to speak. Every conversation turns into a dispute or backstabbing gossip. You leave with a troubled mind and an exhausted heart. You ask yourself, why did I come here? To hear harsh words? To witness endless conflicts? And the most painful truth? Sometimes, these homes belong to your own family members, the very people who should bring you love and peace, but instead leave you feeling drained. Whether it's your children's home, a sibling's house, or a relative's place, if you always leave feeling worn out, it's time to limit your visits. You have weathered enough storms in life. You deserve peace. If a home only brings you stress and negativity, leave it behind. Peace is a choice, and you have the right to choose it. Number 3. The home where you are only needed, not valued. There are homes where you are only invited when they need something, to babysit, to run errands, to lend money. But when you need companionship, a listening ear, or just a simple visit, they are nowhere to be found. You give your time, your kindness, your love, but it's never truly appreciated. The moment you stop being useful, you become invisible. It hurts, doesn't it, to realize that the people you care for only see you as a convenience, not as someone they genuinely cherish. And what's worse, sometimes, these people are your own family. You raised them, supported them, yet now, they only call when they need help. You are not an obligation. Your worth is not measured by what you can do for others. If a home only welcomes you when you're needed, but never when you're wanted, it's time to walk away. You deserve love, not just utility. Number 4. The home where you feel like a burden. Have you ever visited someone's home and felt unwanted the moment you walked in? Maybe they sigh when they see you at the door, glance at their watch, or seem eager for you to leave. Their words may be polite, but their body language says it all. You are not truly welcome. At first, you try to ignore it. You tell yourself, maybe they're just busy. But deep down, you know the truth. Your presence feels like an inconvenience to them. And the most painful part? Sometimes, this happens in the homes of your own children or close family, the very people who should embrace you with warmth. You should never have to beg for someone's time or attention. You are not a burden. You deserve to be in places where you feel valued, not merely tolerated. If a home makes you feel like an afterthought, respect yourself enough to stop visiting. Your time is precious. Spend it where you are truly cherished. Number 5. The home where you are disrespected. Respect is a basic human need, not a privilege. Yet, there are homes where your words are ignored, your experiences are dismissed, and your presence is barely acknowledged. You speak, but they interrupt. You share a thought, but they belittle it. You offer wisdom, but they roll their eyes as if your knowledge no longer matters. And the most painful part? Sometimes, the ones who disrespect you are your own family, your children, grandchildren, or relatives who treat you as if your years of life mean nothing. They forget the sacrifices you've made, the lessons you've learned, and the wisdom you carry. You do not deserve to sit at a table where you feel invisible. You are not a relic of the past. You are a person with value, experience, and dignity. If a home makes you feel small, unimportant, or dismissed, walk away. Your self-respect is worth more than forced interactions. Number 6. The home that drains your mental and emotional well-being. Some homes feel heavy the moment you step inside. The air is thick with tension, the people are cold or indifferent, and the atmosphere leaves you feeling uneasy, anxious, or emotionally drained. You sit there, forcing a smile, but inside, you're counting the minutes until you can leave. And the hardest part? Sometimes, these homes belong to the very people you once loved and trusted. A sibling, a relative, even your own children. People who should bring comfort but instead leave. You feeling unwanted, stressed, or emotionally exhausted. Your mental and emotional health matter just as much as your physical health. If visiting a home leaves you feeling drained instead of uplifted, if every encounter brings more sadness than joy, it's time to stop going. Protect your peace, choose your well-being, and surround yourself with places that make you feel valued, not broken. Number 7. The home that no longer aligns with your growth. As we grow older, we seek wisdom, peace, and meaningful connections. But some homes remain trapped in negativity, toxic habits, and shallow conversations. When you visit, you feel stuck in old patterns, surrounded by people who refuse to change, who dwell in complaints, past grudges, or destructive behaviors. You sit there, realizing you no longer belong in that space. The things that once connected you no longer matter, and instead of feeling uplifted, you leave feeling drained, uninspired, or even frustrated. And sometimes, these homes belong to lifelong friends or family members, people you once shared everything with. But now, they pull you backward instead of lifting you up. Growth means knowing when to walk away. If a home no longer nurtures your mind and soul, it is not a home for you anymore. Choose places that encourage your peace, your wisdom, and your happiness. You have outgrown the past. It's time to embrace your future. Of all the types of homes one should avoid, the one filled with conflict, gossip, and endless arguments resonates with me the most. I once had an older brother, but after falling into alcoholism, he was no longer the person I once knew. Every visit turned into a battlefield of shouting matches, bitter accusations, and drunken outbursts. The air was thick with the smell of alcohol, his voice slurred, his anger unpredictable. I remember walking out one night with a heavy heart, asking myself, why do I keep coming here? To witness his downfall, to be dragged into endless family conflicts. At some point, I realized that family ties do not mean you must endure endless emotional turmoil. I still love my brother, but I can't let his chaos consume my peace. We are too old to waste our remaining time in places that drain us. Choosing peace over conflict is not selfish. It is self-respect. What about you? Which of the 7 homes do you relate to the most? If you agree that peace is more valuable than toxic environments, leave a 1 in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.